You gotta think about if you died today, what would happen? At least
Yes,
every couple
that's
of
very
months.
important.
That's important because most of the time, and even for me, I had to realize that like most of us, if we died today, it's not organized enough,
Mhm.
and that's a problem.
Has to be
You, you,
bulletproof.
you got to think if I died today, and you got to avoid money traps. And I've talked about this last week, but I'm going to double down on this because I'm, some helping people is more important than what critics have to say. Buying a home is extremely important, but it's also can be a money trap.
It can be a money pit.
It could be a money pit. That's an unfortunate situation because once you're in it, you can't really turn around. But buy a home, like if you can get approved for $1 million mortgage, buy a condo for 250. Thank me later.
Hello.
Thank me later.
Hello.
I'll go through it so you wouldn't do it after me.
You might not have the same level of, okay, I'm gonna bring this girl over and she thank me later.
If she wants you regardless of what you
buy.
Y'all gonna build it together.
Buy lower.
Yes. Than what you
get approved for.
Mm-hmm.
Thank me later.
Yeah.
Because it's more beneficial to have money working for you.
For sure.
Than you actually putting money into something that potentially down the line you can have equity down the line. You need somewhere to live. That's important.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Modesty is important in life, but in this home thing, that's probably even more important than anything. The modesty, nobody ever talks about that. You got to be modest in your living. That's the most important thing. Have a modest, and that's one lesson that we can learn from Warren Buffett. I don't know if this is true or not, but they always say that he lived in the same house that he grew up in Omaha, Nebraska.
Oh, he kept it.
He kept
modesty. Modest in your living. Be modest in your living.
Because if you don't have high, I'm going to cut you off. Go ahead. Is you right?
It's the biggest thing. It's the biggest expense, and it's an ongoing expense, and it's an expense that only gets more expensive.
Oh, and I know y'all want to throw them big ass parties, and then someone slips on your marble.
Not fun.
$214,000 lawsuit for a person. Oh, and if I ever pass early, God forbid, let this be public record. Don't go to my mom and my cousin talking about Ian would have want me to have this. I want you to have nothing if ain't in the will. Sorry. Sorry.
Right. Don't confess your love.
No.
Don't confess your love. If you couldn't go to my house and give my mama a hug. Yeah, I did that. As soon as we were building, and I was like, all right, this is a moment. I had the red button. I was like, I went to Danielle. I'm like, yo, here's the codes. Here's the codes. Keep it safe. Put it locked somewhere. Anything happens to me, here's what you do.
Just in case. Yeah.
This is what you do. And this is what you do. I don't want to think about that. Well, I did. I thought about it for you. Here's what you do.
And modesty in the business too. Overexpanding just to overexpand and not hiring the right talent. Well, what's the quote? Hire slow and fire fast.
Yeah.
No one talks about the payroll part. It's like
keep your expenses low at all times.
Yep.
Cars, like if you don't need to necessarily buy the car in cash. You can lease it. That's when Jay said we don't lease, we buy the whole car as you should.
Was that good advice?
That's actually bad advice.
Yeah, right.
It depends on your state.
Salute to
when
Jay.
he said
Jay.
I think he would go back and look differently at that line now.
It's a hustler's mentality, but it's not necessarily.
It's a braggadocious mentality.
It's not necessarily.
Yeah, for sure. It was a flex.
Man.
And Rolls Royce, if we ever find out what the car really costs, we are gonna report on it for 7 weeks straight.
Keep your expenses down.
Please do.
And the cars and the jewelry and the homes, it looks good, but it's not necessary. Because one car does the same thing that two cars can do. One watch tells the same time that 3 watches can tell.
For sure.
A 2-bedroom house serves the same purpose that a 6-bedroom house, because most people's not using 6 bedrooms.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that live below your means. When they say live below your means, nobody's ever really critically thought about that. That means that your means, you're actually living less than your actually means.
Making
right. That means that you actually should be at 100,000, but you're living at 70,000. What does that mean? That means you have to make sacrifices. They didn't say live at your means. They didn't say live at your means. They said live below your means.
And way below.
That means you're
and if I'm gonna be honest, it's one of the hardest sacrifices I've ever made. Man, Big Mike, shout out to Mike out there and Ellie out there. They hit me every week.
What's the biggest?
And you've done the best.
Yeah,
you're actually. I'm gonna give you credit publicly because you out of everybody that I've seen,
it's tough.
You've done the best at living below your means. And I mean, you still live a good life, but I see it. Like I'm an observant person, right? I noticed that you live below your means, and that takes discipline.
A ton. That I didn't think I would have at 22.
Kudos to you because that's something that most people would not talk about. But you are a very responsible person when it comes to how you're living.
Thank you.
Because this is true, and what's the biggest societal pressure that you face when you say like I need to have discipline to do this? What are those pressure points that it's like, damn, I really want that, or I really could do this, but I'm not going to?
Man, just getting offered, hey, come to the Rolls Royce dealership and we get 40 off. I like you. Cool. It's tough to take them calls, and then you see your friends start to. It's like, even when Joe went and got the Ferrari, right? Joe FaceTime me, like, yo, big dog, yo, go get matching. We're not gonna get matching Ferraris like money, anything. Like it's sound fly. It's dope on Instagram, but is it really worth that? So it's tough though. Especially now, like looking at the houses. And we talked about it before, the tax on being owned. Now I gotta go have somebody go look for me on my behalf. So in certain instances, I don't get taxed, but I'm not gonna lie, it's tough. I'll see Future pop up in some of the videos. Like, I need 2 of them chains, 2 of them watches. Big Mike almost got me last week.
Damn.
I don't care about the resale value. I got it. And I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm be Apple Watch. So, but knowing that I'm good and that, you know, my family's good and that my kid is good. But now Xander's starting to pressure me.
I don't got it, son. Yes, you do.
Yep. He like, Dad, it'd be nice.
Yeah, yes, you do.
Yeah, so it's tough. It's worth it though.
It is.
I'm gonna do the Buffett. I'm gonna play Meek, and then on the private time, boy, 2 Rolls Royces. I said, oh, okay. Buffett got the first color then. Y'all stop saying the Rolls Royce don't advertise. You just may not see where they advertise. We got to stop a lot of these misnomers that are just not true. Go to F1 or Monaco, and it's a lot of advertisements out there.
Yeah,
Selected media.
They advertise to their clientele.
For sure. For sure.
Why would they put that on NBC?
Yeah. Well,
and Rolex, can y'all quit copying watch designs? Because I would like another, but y'all just flat out copying everybody. Jesus, the Sicario of the watchmakers this year. What y'all doing? Y'all Sicario.
Well, yes, ladies and gentlemen, keep that in mind when you're on your pathway to become rich, wealthy. Live below your means.
Yeah.
And invest as much as possible and keep cash on hand at all times.
Please.
There's something at InvestFest. I may give y'all a show though.
Light show?
Maybe.
InvestFest.
Okay.